Okay, everyone, I'm going to call this meeting for the Mexico City Council for April 14th, 2025 to order, and we need the roll call.
Haig,
Yes.
Briggs,
Yes.
Weber,
Yes.
Williams, Miller,
Yes.
We need the approval for the minutes. Do I have a motion?
So moved.
Second.
Haig,
Yes.
Briggs,
Yes.
Weber,
Yes.
Miller,
Yes.
Okay, first thing on the agenda is we all get paid.
I'm leaving as soon as I get this.
I'm going on vacation.
I'm going to McDonald's as soon as I get this.
It's the annual time to pay the city council. And the city wants to definitely acknowledge the appreciation and dedication to each member for their $1 that they get for service. So as you know, this is not about, it's certainly about service to the community. That's what it's all about. So, Mayor Briggs,
Thank you
your paycheck for you.
for my paycheck. All right.
Chairman Pro Tem. Councilman.
Thank you. It's my $1 and my $3 frame.
Thank you. I'm leaving.
Thank you for your service.
I'm leaving. I'm hungry.
McDonald's set you off. Okay. Okay, thank you. Next thing is the certification. You all have a copy, certification of the general election results. Mr. Slagle, do you need a comment on this?
In your packet, you had the unofficial results laying in front of you is now the certified results from Lisa Smith, Clerk Audrain County, and she has certified that the above numbers are correct and canvassed as of the ballots cast on April 8th, 2025 for the municipal general election. And you would need a motion, council, to accept and approve the results of the general election.
Can we get a recount?
Pretty close. I move we accept the certification of the election results.
Second.
Haig,
Yes.
Briggs,
Yes.
Weber,
Yes.
Miller,
Yes.
All right, the next thing on our agenda is we have oath of office, and
Ron Ray.
I will call Ron up. You can come up, Ron, and Nicole will administer that.
raise your right hand and repeat after me. State your name.
I, Ron Ray,
Do solemnly affirm
do solemnly affirm
that I will support the Constitution of the United States
that I will support the Constitution of the United States,
and the Constitution of the State of Missouri,
and the Constitution of the State of Missouri,
and that I will faithfully demean myself
and I will faithfully demean myself
in the office of the City Council
in the office of the City Council
for the City of Mexico, Missouri,
for the City of Mexico, Missouri,
for which I was elected
for which I was elected
on the 8th day of April, 2025.
on the 8th day of April, 2025. Thank you.
Where's your shirt?
Just come over here for right now. We may shuffle around here in a minute. Councilman Ray. All right, next thing, we are going to now do the election of mayor and chamber pro tem, and I need, Dave, you to ask, to be the chairman for this.
Thanks, Mayor. All right, we'll proceed to the election of mayor and pro tem. And so first, as we always do, we need to adopt rules for the election. The city previously adopted a policy that no member of the city council would serve more than 2 consecutive one-year terms as mayor. Now, that's a policy you can maintain or repeal. As for the actual election, we'll consider the office of mayor first. When I open the floor for nominations, I will need a nomination and a second. If there's more than one nomination, 3 votes are required to win the office. If no candidate receives 3 votes, we'll vote again. If no candidate receives 3 votes on the second vote, we'll vote a third time. If no candidate receives 3 votes after a third vote, we'll draw names. We'll follow the same election rules for the election of the chairman pro tem. Now, does anyone offer any amendments to those policy, to that policy or those election rules?
I would like to see us repeal the 2 one-year terms for the mayor.
And so Councilman Weber makes a motion to repeal the previous policy of the limit for mayoral terms of 2 consecutive one-year terms. Did I say that right, Larry?
I think so.
Okay, all right.
You said it better than I would.
Is there a second?
I'll second it, but I don't, the 2 years, we elect one every year. If you don't like who you got, you don't have to re-elect them, but
That's true.
I don't see why we have to have a 2-year limit either. So I'm going to second it.
And then Nicole, there's a motion and a second. Would you call the roll for that, please?
Hague,
Yes.
Briggs,
Yes.
Weber,
Yes.
Ray,
Yes.
Miller,
Yes.
All right, that policy is repealed. Any other amendments to that policy or the election rules? If not, we'll begin with the office of mayor, and I'll open the floor to nominations for the office of mayor.
I'd like to nominate Steve Hague for mayor.
Second.
Any other nominations? Is there a motion to close the nominations?
Motion to close the nominations.
Second.
And Nicole, would you call the roll on that motion, please?
Hague,
Yes.
Briggs,
Yes.
Weber,
Yes.
Ray,
Yes.
Miller,
Yes.
All right. And then we'll actually have the vote on the nomination, please. All in favor of Councilman Hague to be mayor?
Roll call.
Hague,
Yes.
Briggs,
Yes.
Weber,
Yes.
Ray,
Yes.
Miller,
Yes.
All right. And we'll turn to the office of Chairman Pro Tem. Nominations for that office, please.
I'll nominate Chris Miller.
Second.
Any other nominations? Nicole, would you, is there a motion to close nominations? I'm sorry.
I move to close.
Second.
Hague,
Yes.
Briggs,
Yes.
Weber,
Yes.
Ray,
Yes.
Miller,
Yes.
And then we'll call for election for that office, please.
Hague,
Yes.
Briggs,
Yes.
Weber,
Yes.
Ray,
Yes.
Miller,
Yes.
All right.
Okay,
Mayor Hague, return the meeting to you.
Steve, do you want
Let's
to,
just stay.
you want
just
to
do it
keep the
next
seating how it is?
Well, if you want to move, can we do it
It's
this
up to
next
you.
meeting? We'll just do it next meeting. I'll move over next meeting. Let's just stay.
Next meeting.
Okay.
We'll do it. Be fine.
You're the mayor.
Oh, we can move on. We don't have to shuffle everything. We don't have to shuffle everything. Next order of business, ordinances. Bill number 2025-17, an ordinance approving the final plat of GM and subdivision to the city of Mexico, Missouri. 2 readings by title and passage only. Mr. Slagle.
Yes, this is for final approval for the G&M subdivision, and this is a simple subdivision of division on a lot, and to cover the details, Drew Wilford.
Well, good evening, council. This subdivision is owned by, by Gary and Monica Johnson, as well as Sam Robinette. And there is currently, as you can see on the screen here, essentially the 2 northern lots are 1 lot right now. And so there are 2 houses on 1 lot, which is against code. They're looking at selling that northern house. And so in order to sell that, they're proceeding to split that lot and now have a house on each of those lots. So the 3rd lot is only adjusting the boundary just a little bit, so it's within the zoning setbacks that are required for that district. So we're proceeding here. We received this actually back last year, and we only received the final updated plat for engineering's review back on essentially the third, I believe, and the review was completed just a couple weeks ago. Everything has been addressed. It meets state code, meets city code. This actually qualifies, though, for an exemption under the planning process. So this did not go to the Planning and Zoning Commission for review. Section 3674B allows tracts of less than 1 acre to be adopted through more or less an administrative approval process. This meets all the criteria for that exemption, so we're bringing it directly before council. As you can see on the screen, it's signed by the owners and ready to proceed. If council approves, it'll be recorded tomorrow. If you have any questions, I'll be happy to answer them.
How does the house get on 2 lots?
Very good question. If I was older, I might be able to tell you, but
I
it's,
figured it went way back.
yeah, sure does.
Is that right next to Pickering's?
Yeah.
Yeah. I move for reading of bill number 2025-17.
Second.
Hay,
Yes.
Briggs,
Yes.
Weber,
Yes.
Ray,
Yes.
Miller,
Yes. Bill number 2025-17, an ordinance approving the final plat of GM subdivision to the city of Mexico, Missouri. I move for the second reading of bill number 2025-17.
Second.
Hay,
Yes.
Briggs,
Yes.
Weber,
Yes.
Ray,
Yes.
Miller,
Yes. Bill number 2025-17, an ordinance approving the final plat of GM subdivision to the city of Mexico, Missouri. I move for passage of bill number 2025-17.
Second.
Hay,
Yes.
Briggs,
Yes.
Weber,
Yes.
Ray,
Yes.
Miller,
Yes.
Resolutions, bill number 2025-18, a resolution authorizing the city manager to sign a 3-year contract with Bartlett and West Incorporated for on-call architectural services, reading by title only and passage. Mr. Slagle?
Yes, this is for on-call consulting services, and this will actually cover the next 2 resolutions. And as time to time is needed, is to have some professional services for architectural support. And we will be recommending 2 different firms to do that. And to cover the details, once again, Drew Willifer.
Well, good evening, council. The need for an on-call architect is something that we've noticed over the last few years develop. And there have been a few projects where we've put out specifically work and a request for qualifications for supporting project by project, but there have been a lot of circumstances where we require some technical experience that goes beyond in-house staff. And up to this point, we've been relying on the good nature of a lot of the architects that we know to simply call them up and ask a question. Some of these items come up with existing buildings and alterations, even the idea of altering very old structures and their compliance with fire code has come up. And so some of these are beyond the existing capability of staff, and we've asked for professional opinions on those. It's time that we look at actually getting on-call consultants for architecture so that we can have a process that they can build, that we can have a process where we can also, if we have a project come up, which we have had on different occasions, select an architect and have them ready to move forward on a project very quickly. So we went through the state statute requirements for a request for qualifications. Everything's based on the qualification-based selection process as defined by state statute. Put an advertisement out in the paper. We also sent that to several architectural firms, and we had a total of 6 firms respond to that RFQ. Bartlett and West out of Jefferson City, Missouri, as well as West Hughes Architecture out of Columbia, Missouri, were the 2 that scored the highest by the scoring committee for the process. Bartlett and West, you may be familiar with, they're an on-call consultant already for engineering services. And then West Hughes Architecture, it operates out of Columbia, Missouri, and they're a smaller firm. Both have an excellent track record. West Hughes has worked in Mexico before, and we're familiar with their work, and everything has gone very well. Same with Bartlett and West. They're an on-call. They've worked with us before. You may be familiar. They've worked with us on the hospital. So we're recommending that we proceed with selecting 2 firms with the premise of if one is busy, as seems to be the case in a lot of construction and engineering firms these days, we always have a second option to pursue, just in case. So we'd recommend proceeding with these two. This is going to be entered into on a task order basis. So if we get a project where it looks like it's going to be a significant one, we'll ask for a task order from them following city policies on purchasing. So if there's anything that's over $10,000, it has to go to council first as per normal policy procedures. If there's something that looks like it's a smaller project, like a technical question, we would just go by a time and labor basis for that. So hopefully this provides an overview for the reason why we're selecting two and the reason why we're providing the process here. We recommend reading by title only and passage for both of these on an individual basis. If you have any questions, I'll be happy to answer them.
Drew, I do have a question.
Sure.
There's no retainer fee for either one of those?
No cost with this at all,
No
either
annual.
one of them. This is a document that essentially opens up the ability to proceed with charging the city on a project-by-project basis after that, in accordance with our purchasing policy.
With no guarantee on the hourly basis? I saw some hourly fees in there. Is that guaranteed for just 1 year?
Right.
Okay.
Right. So that's from the passage of this, 1 year from that.
And then looking at the aggregates, the incident insurance is $3 million, and then aggregate is $3 million.
Right.
And then an umbrella for $2 million.
Well, so it's a total of $3 million with the umbrella. So the umbrella provides that additional coverage on the other subcategories, best I could convey here. And some of you may know the insurance side better than I do, but we want to get to that $3 million mark for, I believe, sovereign immunity. Feel free to correct me if I'm wrong with that, but that $3 million mark covers the city by state statute. And feel free to correct me if I'm wrong on any of that.
This is two resolutions?
Two separate resolutions.
And they're both at that amount, both of the contractors?
Right.
Okay.
I'll move for
Yeah, there's two.
reading of Bill 2025-18.
Second.
Hague,
Yes.
Briggs,
Yes.
Weber,
Yes.
Ray,
Yes.
Miller,
Yes.
Bill 2025-18, resolution authorizing city manager to sign a 3-year contract with Bartlett West Inc. for on-call architectural services.
Move for passage.
You did? I move for passage. He's telling me what to
Second.
do.
Hague,
Yes.
Briggs,
Yes.
Weber,
Yes.
Ray,
Yes.
Miller,
Yes. That's where you're going to sleep.
I move for reading of bill number 2025-19.
Second.
Hague,
Yes.
Briggs,
Yes.
Weber,
Yes.
Ray,
Yes.
Miller,
Yes.
A resolution authorizing the city manager to sign a 3-year contract with West Hughes Architect LLC for on-call architectural services. I move for passage.
Second.
Hague,
Yes.
Briggs,
Yes.
Weber,
Yes.
Ray,
Yes.
Miller,
Yes.
Moving on, bill number 2025-20, a resolution authorizing city manager to execute an agreement with Lumex Electrical Incorporated for the 25 through 2028 on-call electrical services contract. Reading by title only and passage. Mr. Slager.
Yes, this again is for need for on-call electrician support and diagnostic help when it comes to electrical work. We have used Luminex in the past, and time to bid out, and we've done that. And to cover the details of the bidding process, once again, Drew Wilford.
Yep, as Bruce mentioned, that's exactly right. We've got several projects that are coming up which are going to require a on-call electrician. So in order to facilitate those projects, we put a request for proposal out, which is a little different than the request for qualifications. And we also sent this, besides advertising in the paper, posting on our website, we sent this to 4 distinct electrical firms that are capable of handling the type of work that we would need them to handle. So think more industrial capability. So Lumix, Meyer Electric, Pertec, and Schneider Electric are the 4 that were sent to. We only received 1 response, which I found a little surprising. So we have evaluated that response. Lumix has worked with the city before. They've been out at our wastewater plant before. They've worked on our downtown streetlights. They've done excellent work. There's no red flags with proceeding with them at all. We've reviewed their proposal. Don't find anything that would keep us from moving forward. So we'd request that we accept their proposal and move forward with passage of the resolution. If you have any questions, I'll be happy to answer them.
Move for reading of Bill 2025-20.
Second.
Hay.
Yes.
Briggs.
Yes.
Weber.
Yes.
Gray.
Yes.
Miller.
Yes.
Bill 2025-20, a resolution authorizing the city manager to execute an agreement with Lumix Electrical, Inc. for the 2025-2028 on-call electrical services contract. Move for passage of 2025-20.
Second.
Hay.
Yes.
Briggs.
Yes.
Weber.
Yes.
Gray.
Yes.
Miller.
Yes.
Bill number 2025-21, a resolution authorizing the city manager to enter into an agreement with the Presser Performing Arts Center to assist in providing services to citizens. Reading by title only and passage. Mr. Slagle?
Yes, this is our annual resolution and agreement with Presser Performing Arts for their services that they provide. To cover the details of the contract, Chad Underhill.
Good evening, Council Mayor. The 24-25 budget allows for the City of Mexico to contribute to the Presser Performing Arts Center in the sum of $10,000 for the use of providing programs and activities. The city has provided this level of assistance since 2002. We recommend to continue that partnership with it.
I move for reading Bill 2025-21.
Second.
Hay.
Yes.
Briggs.
Yes.
Weber.
Yes.
Gray.
Yes.
Miller.
Yes. Bill number 2025-21, a resolution authorizing the city manager to enter into an agreement with the Presser Performing Arts Center to assist in providing services to citizens. I move for passage of Bill 2025-21.
Second.
Hay.
Yes.
Briggs.
Yes.
Weber.
Yes.
Gray.
Yes.
Miller.
Yes.
Other business, staff report, we have authorizing emergency repairs to the sanitary sewer collection system in the 500 block of South Jefferson Street. Mr. Slagle?
Yes, we had some backup issues in this location and found some particular mistakes, I guess you'd say, from past with an old clean out instead of a manhole being installed in this location, and so had some difficulty cleaning this line. So we had to do some emergency repairs to get it taken care of. So to cover the details, once again, Drew Williford.
It's the Drew Williford Show.
You got anything else you want to bring up, Drew? Oh, you're here.
Oh, I think I'll keep it here.
Something free, though.
As Bruce mentioned, he gave a very good overview for all of this. There was a backup that occurred actually twice in that 500 block, and I do apologize to the residents in that block. One was affected. We're working with them to continue working on this whole process, but the issue has been mitigated. This actually was brought about by two problems. One was, in essence, a settling of a line, and then the concern of when that settling occurs, that it begins to restrict flow, and you end up having solids that, in essence, fats, oils, and greases that obstruct the line, and that's what occurred here. As Bruce mentioned, there's a clean out that's located in that area, and we can't service a location very well through that clean out. Our equipment doesn't go in and out of that location easily, so there was some oddities with this location that kept us from being able to articulate or determine, I guess, the correct issue that was going on and causing this reoccurrent problem. So Plan B was called out over a weekend to respond to an emergency because they did have sewer backing up into their basement in the 500 block. So all of this got resolved once they figured out that the line had been settling and that we've got some issues through there. So Plan B was able to help support resolving that issue, put a new manhole in. During all of this, we found out that another manhole just downstream was in such bad condition it could also begin causing a backup with bricks falling in. So all of this is part of the work that Plan B did. We asked them to go ahead and put two new manholes in, and so this has all been mitigated now. We received an invoice just a week and a half ago or so for $10,875. As you're aware, anything over $10,000 must go to council for review. So we're bringing this to council for review. This did, just for the record, this did put us on notice that there's a section of line we will have to replace. That may be over $10,000 as well, so that will be coming likely back to council once we get to that point. But that may be something, if we have money remaining in the fund, to tackle at the end of the year, or may get budgeted next year. But we can maintain the line, and it's on our high priority list for maintenance. So we will make sure the problem does not happen again. And we're asking for approval. My apologies here. If you have any questions, I'll be happy to answer them.
I move we approve the invoice for $10,875 2, Plan B development.
Haig.
Yes.
Briggs.
Yes.
Weber.
Yes.
Ray.
Yes.
Miller.
Yes.
Another staff report, appointment to the Mexico Audrain Library Board. Mr. Slagle.
Yes, this board appointment needs to be done by city council. There's currently a vacancy on the board, which is an unexpired 3-year term, which does expire at the end of June of 2025. We did receive one application only from Fran Robley to serve on the board. Because this term does expire in June, council is free to make the appointment of the applicant for the expiring term, but also we're in the window if you wish to also include for an additional 3-year term. While we're here, you may do that as well.
She's okay with that?
Yes.
Okay.
Move we appoint Fran Robley to the unexpired term of the Audrain County Library Board, and do we need 2 motions or just one?
I think we should do them separately.
Okay.
Second.
Haig.
Yes.
Briggs.
Yes.
Weber.
Yes.
Ray.
Yes.
Miller.
Yes.
And I move that we appoint Fran Robley to the new term beginning in June for 3 years to the Library Board.
Second.
Haig.
Yes.
Briggs.
Yes.
Weber.
Yes.
Ray.
Yes.
Miller.
Yes.
Time to pay the claims.
Move we pay the claims.
Second.
Haig.
Yes.
Briggs.
Yes.
Weber.
Yes.
Ray.
Yes.
Miller.
Yes.
Oh, now we're to council comments. Mr. Weber, we'll start with you.
You know, I honestly don't have anything, believe it or not, 'cause I don't talk much. Everything's just hunky-dory.
Exactly.
Living the dream, Mike.
Living the dream.
Mr. Miller.
Well, I just want to say it's congratulations to our new council member. He ran a close race, but beat out all his opponents, and we're happy to have him up here.
Thank you.
And
It's tough.
now that you've got this seat, you'll learn you're just living the dream, right?
Living the dream.
Living the dream.
Councilman Briggs.
Well, I just want to congratulate you, Steve. You're the new mayor. It will keep you busy. And I want to congratulate Ron for being elected to the council.
Thank you.
And I also want to thank all of you out there, all the staff members in the building, that you work hard for the city, and I've enjoyed getting to know you. And so that's what I have to say.
Mr. Ray.
It's an honor to be here, and hope I can fill the big shoes of all those in the past. I also wanted to publicly thank Joan Fate for her kind services around town. She walks a lot around town, and she carries a bag with her and picks up trash all the time. So just wanted to recognize her for that.
Of course, not here. Chris Williams, I just want to thank him for his years of service. I know he talked a little bit last time about not being here. He didn't want to do pomp and circumstance, but he gave a lot of years of loyalty to the city. We appreciate that. Councilman Briggs, thanks you for your 2 years of being mayor. You did a great job serving it, and so we appreciate that. Thanks to the council for putting me as mayor. Hopefully I can do as well as the past mayors I've been on here with. I'll try and get out there and do that service that you all did. And congratulations on getting voted on. Councilman Ray, it was great. And we look forward to working with you. This weekend, I got a little excited because the park's going to be working a little harder. The sunshine was out. People at the parks. It was great to see everybody out there and people doing yard work. And so it looks like we're going to get into getting into the spring, getting that warmer weather. So go out and enjoy those things that your tax dollars provide, and hopefully we can provide more in the future. Now we're on to public comments. If you have a public comment, come to the podium, state your name. Oh, sorry, Mr. Slake, that's right.
I do have an introduction to make.
I know, I got you.
Our new deputy city manager has started. Nathan Lombardo is with us. He comes with us with experience in city planning, community development, former city manager as well. So we're lucky to have him, and welcome aboard.
So much.
Welcome.
First day.
Welcome.
Yes, it is.
This is your birth?
We'll see.
First day.
We'll see if you're here in 2 weeks from now.
edge of your seat excitement already in the first day. All right, now we're on to public comments. If you have a public comment, you come to the podium, state your name, state your address, and you will have 3 minutes maximum to state your comment.
I'm Robert Allen, and I'd like to ask the City Council, excuse me,
Address, please.
5 Oak Lane, Mexico, Missouri.
Okay.
I'd like to ask the City Council members if they would reconsider voting to let the or the golf carts and the UTVs to be ran on the street. All the surrounding towns, they let them. I'm sure they have guidelines. And I'd appreciate if you'd reconsider the vote. Thank you.
Thank you. Not seeing anybody else. Need a motion to adjourn?
Second.
Haig,
Yes.
Briggs,
Yes.
Weber,
Yes.
Ray,
Yes.
Miller,
Yes.